Now, as Michael is going to college, our lovely Aunt Edna comes back into the picture again.
She was a big part of our lives.
She's a huge part of our lives. Now she's recognizing that, hey, we've got a problem. We've got Easter here, but Michael comes home on a Friday for Easter. He's home on Saturday, but he's got to be back at school at Stevens Sunday so he can get to class on Monday morning, first thing. Oh, this is not good. So Tootie decides, I have a solution. We will celebrate our Easter on Saturday when Michael is here. And not only will we celebrate it on Saturday, Tootie, who was living in Bayville at the time, has a wonderful place that we're going to celebrate. We're going to go to the Old Time Tavern, have a luncheon at the Old Time Tavern, and Tootie loved the Seaside Boardwalk. After Saturday luncheon, we will go onto the boardwalk with the family and have our Easter celebration on Saturday. She started that. It worked. We're doing it yet today. The only change is that the Old Time Tavern isn't there anymore, but we found an alternate. And we are continuing that tradition since she started it back in 1981, I guess, 82. 82 is when it started.
But she was living in Pennsylvania then.
Oh, she was living in Pennsylvania,
Yes.
but she was familiar
But she loved the
with
shore.
the shore
She
because of
loved
the
the
time she
shore.
lived in Bayville.
Yes, she loved the shore. So
Tell me how we toast her.
we would be at the Old Time Tavern, and we'd all be sitting around at our table. And as the years went by, it got more people because the children had their significant others. And I don't know who started the howling, but maybe it was Tootie. And she would always get a Manhattan, and that's a pretty strong drink. And she would have her Manhattan, and she would have a drink, and she'd have like a toast, and she'd say, "Okay, everybody, howl, oh!" And here, I was ready to die because here we
You
are,
were red in the face.
public
All the people are
restaurant.
looking, wow.
Everybody's howling, and that's my
But
family.
after I remember, at least on one occasion, people would come up and say, "Wow, what a wonderful family you have!" that they enjoy themselves so much. So we were complimented on our howling.
But we still do it today.
Good. Let's put Kenny through school and you're done.
Okay. Kenneth, it came time for Kenneth to go to Stevens, and he chose Stevens also, and he was a computer engineer.
Well, yes, he was into computers. I think that part of it was the old Commodore 64 that we started with that Kenny got really involved with, and he would spend hours with that, and that maybe influenced him to select engineering or electrical course of study, and he did choose Stevens.
But going back in high school, with very little effort, he did very well, and he graduated in the top 10% of his class.
He was an A student with very little work.
With very little work. So here he goes off to Stevens, and I might, well, today's money, it's not that expensive, but back then, it was a lot of money. And he kind of had trouble because he didn't know how to study.
He didn't have to study before, but
Right.
now he's in college. He has to study.
So I think we squeaked by the first 2 years or something, and then along about the third year, he comes home and he makes an announcement. I think I'm going to take 5 years to finish. Well, I think Andy, there was a hole in the ceiling where he went through, and I think our neighbors heard.
You're what? You are going to do it in 4 years like your brother. And me.
But I do believe he did flunk a year.
He may have flunked a year.
Anyway, he did finish and he did graduate,
And he got his degree.
he got his degree. Yes, but and he's got a nice job, and he's a happy boy. Okay.
Kill it. Good.